It was a typical Friday night when Emily, my wife of 10 years, said she was going to a get-together with old college friends. She was excited and radiant. She kissed me goodbye, telling me not to wait up. I smiled and said, "Have fun," fully trusting her, without a second thought. But after a few hours, a quiet unease started to creep in. Emily hadn't posted anything on Instagram, which was unusual for her. She was always quick to share her outings, especially when she looked as good as tonight. No updates, no check-ins, nothing. I tried to brush off the feeling, telling myself not to be paranoid. She was just having fun, I thought, as I grabbed a beer. I settled into the couch, trying to lose myself in a movie, but the uneasy knot in my stomach wouldn't go away. The night stretched on with no word from Emily. I kept checking my phone, hoping for a message or a call. Every minute felt heavier, the silence louder. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, but I had no proof. Then I heard about the party. Only one man had accompanied her, and Emily had stayed the night. Feeling betrayed and furious, I decided to take brutal revenge, determined not to let this go unanswered. I planned carefully, knowing this was a turning point in our marriage, a night that would change everything. Revenge was not about destruction, but about making her understand the pain she caused me. The next day, I confronted Emily with the truth, demanding honesty and clarity between us. Our marriage faced its greatest test, but I was ready to fight for the truth and for us. This was not just about revenge. It was about reclaiming trust and deciding what our future would hold. My stomach tightened as the hours dragged slowly. I looked at the clock. 1:30 in the morning. Still no news. Then I did something I had never done before. I opened the shared phone with her and checked the message log. It felt wrong, an invasion of privacy. But an inner feeling suggested that this night was hiding more than she said. And I was right. The name Ryan appeared again and again in the messages. A quick glance revealed the whole truth. Ryan was not an old college friend. He was someone she met online, with whom she corresponded and flirted. And tonight she was with him. Part of me wanted to stop reading, to pretend nothing was happening, but I couldn't. My hands trembled as I read their messages. The texts weren't explicitly sexual, but had a special undertone. There was a connection between them, they joked, shared personal details. And the words that killed me. "Can't wait to see you today." My head was spinning. Emily, the woman I had loved and trusted for over 10 years, was cheating on me. And there I sat at home like an idiot while she was with someone else. She spent the night with another man. When she came home at 3:30 in the morning, my world had already changed. Her hair was tousled, and she smelled slightly of alcohol. "You're not asleep yet?" she asked quietly, surprised that I was still awake. "Yes," I answered in a steady voice. I just couldn't fall asleep. I asked how the party went, watching her closely. She hesitated for a moment, but that was enough for me to notice. "It was fine. We just talked a little," she said. I studied her carefully, trying to find the truth in her words. She avoided my eyes and started taking off her shoes by the door. That slight avoidance of eye contact told me everything I wanted to know. "Who was there?" I asked, pretending not to know the answer. "Just old friends," she replied too quickly. "You don't know them?" It was a lie. I knew who was there. There was only one person there. Ryan. I didn't press for more conversation. That night, I wanted to act desperately, but I needed more proof. I wouldn't confront her until I had every detail and fact clearly laid out. I checked her phone, her social media, anything that could give me more information. I learned about Ryan, how they met through a friend of a friend. Their conversation started innocently, but grew closer over time. The messages became more intimate and personal, revealing a deeper connection than I expected. I pieced together the nights she had gone out with friends and compared them to her text logs with Ryan. Everything lined up perfectly. She had been seeing him behind my back for weeks. One evening, while she was in the shower, I found the proof I needed. The message that sealed her fate was a photo Ryan had sent her at a party. He had his arm around her waist. She rested her head on his shoulder. Both were smiling, clearly not just friends. My blood boiled as I stared at the screen, my heart pounding with betrayal and anger. My heart was pounding wildly. I felt a rage I had never experienced before. But along with the anger came a cold, calculating clarity. This would not be just a quarrel. This betrayal demanded something deeper, something that would leave an indelible mark. I began to carefully and methodically devise a plan for revenge. Simply confronting her was too easy. I needed to make her feel the full depth of what she had done, and for Ryan to realize it too. I let her believe everything was fine, acting distant. I continued to follow the usual routine, giving her space to think she was escaping punishment. Meanwhile, I started watching Ryan. I found his social media pages, place of work, and even his personal email address. He was careless, like many people, and that worked in my favor. I created a fake persona that seemed like a mutual acquaintance of Emily to get closer to Ryan. Over several weeks, I built an online relationship, earning his trust. He had no suspicion of my true purpose. At the same time, hidden cameras were installed in our house, capturing every moment Emily corresponded with him. I recorded their phone calls and secret meetings. I was gathering evidence not for court, but for something much more terrifying. Finally, the day came when Emily went to meet a friend at a cafe. I knew exactly where she was headed, to Ryan's apartment. I let her go, but this time I wasn't just waiting at home. I had already prepared the final stage of my plan. I uploaded the footage, carefully editing it into a story of betrayal and lies. The story told of a woman who deceived her husband and a man who thought he could steal someone else's wife. I anonymously posted the video on a popular social network, presenting it as a social experiment. The video quickly gained popularity. By the time Emily returned home in the evening, the internet had already turned against her. She didn't know what awaited her. Her phone kept vibrating with messages and notifications. She unlocked the screen, turning pale as she began reading the comments. Her secret was revealed, and she remained confused, not knowing how to deal with the consequences. She stood in the doorway, the world watching what was happening. "What is this?" she stammered, eyes wide with shock. I silently watched her crumble. "I told you not to wait," I said calmly. But I couldn't hold myself back. She turned around, tears in her eyes. "Did you do this?" she asked. I didn't answer. It wasn't necessary. After that, Emily's life fell apart. Ryan disappeared, his reputation destroyed by the video exposing the truth. Emily became an outcast, friends turned away, her social media was flooded with angry comments. She prayed for forgiveness, swore she still loved me, but it was too late. I packed my things and left silently. The silence I left was all the answer she needed. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel Lauren's Stories for new dramatic and thoughtful tales. There are always many, and they are deep.